Hello everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode on my channel, Bohemian Book Club. Today I'll be talking about the book, The Almost Nearly Perfect People, written by Michael Booth. Michael Booth is an English food and travel writer and journalist, who writes regularly for a variety of newspapers and magazines. In The Almost Nearly Perfect People, the author sets out on an exploration across all 5 Nordic countries to uncover the identity of these intriguing societies, unravel the mysteries behind their success, and delve into their perceptions of each other. Additionally, the book delves into the reasons behind the remarkable success of these societies, and why they are often viewed as role models for the rest of the world. Offering an informative travel narrative, it sheds light on the realities of the Scandinavian countries, challenging the perception of their happiness and perfection. Before moving ahead, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Part 1. Why do we love Nordic countries so much? Scandinavia holds numerous appealing qualities, but one of its most compelling aspects is its remarkable equality. While countries like the US and UK grapple with gender disparities and poverty discrimination, Denmark stands out as a middle-class melting pot, with Finland even lacking gendered language. Furthermore, Iceland boasts the world's first parliament. Collectively, these factors paint Scandinavia as a beacon of equality, a notion supported by the Gini coefficient. The Gini coefficient, conceived by Italian statistician Corrado Gini in 1921, assesses wealth distribution by measuring the income gap between a nation's richest and poorest citizens. A smaller disparity indicates greater equality. The consistent top rankings of the Nordic countries in this index affirm their commitment to egalitarian principles. The region's reputation for equality may trace back to its Viking heritage, despite their violent history. The Vikings were purportedly proponents of egalitarianism and gender equality. This legacy persists today, with Scandinavian nations earning accolades for being ideal places for women, as evidenced by rankings from Save the Children and Newsweek. Notably, Finland granted women the right to vote in 1906, while Sweden boasts gender-balanced parliament, and a culture where men are ranked as the least chauvinistic globally. While not everyone may share this admiration, Scandinavia undeniably excels in fostering national equality. Yet, the question remains, is this achievement as straightforward as it seems? Part 2. What's love got to do with it? How frequently do you express affection by saying, "I love you"? If you're like me, you might utter it frequently, extending it to everyone, from your significant other, to your favorite dessert. However, when it comes to interacting with a Finnish partner, it might be prudent to reconsider using that hell word so liberally. This caution stems from the Nordic cultural inclination towards reticence, a trait highly valued, especially in northern regions. In Finnish culture, the term shy carries positive connotations, revered as a cultural virtue. Finnish people are known for their reserved nature, as illustrated by a story recounted by one Finnish man. According to the tale, the man and his brother found themselves stranded on a snowy country road during a blizzard. Fortuitously, another Finn happened upon them, and assisted without uttering a word, despite knowing the stranded brother since elementary school. While most people might find it odd to encounter a longtime friend and exchange no words, such behavior is entirely typical, albeit perplexing, in Finnish culture. Cultural idiosyncrasies extend beyond Finland. In Sweden, for instance, the term duktig translates to clever, but specifically denotes the ability to navigate conflict or bullying. This trait is so esteemed that Danish individuals are sometimes recruited as managers in Swedish companies, for their willingness to take charge and make unpopular decisions. The origins of this cultural reticence trace back to Lutheran influence in Scandinavia, a strict and conservative form of Christianity, propagated by Martin Luther in the 16th century. Despite the waning attendance in modern Scandinavian churches, Lutheranism's impact endures, evident in the widespread understanding of janty law among the people. Janty law, derived from a 1933 novel by Danish-Norwegian author Axel Sandemos, dictates societal norms in fictional janty town, discouraging overt displays of individuality or personal pride. The principles include injunctions such as, "You shall not believe that you are more important than we, your people or community, are," and "You shall not believe that you are someone." These examples elucidate how Scandinavian culture frowns upon overt expressions of individuality or personal esteem. Part 3. The problem with national pride. Having a strong sense of national pride is perfectly natural and commendable. Celebrating one's culture and heritage is important. When cultures share similarities, it often fosters unity and cooperation, as seen in the case of the 5 Nordic countries, which anthropologist Edward T. Hall categorizes as high-context cultures. Due to their commonalities, these nations may require less active communication and exchange of ideas. Take Finland for instance. With its predominantly homogeneous population and notably reserved demeanor, cultural exchange might be limited. However, there are darker sides to national identity, as exemplified by the actions of Anders Breivik, who, in 2011, perpetrated 2 calculated attacks, resulting in the deaths of 77 people in Norway. Breivik's heinous acts not only underscored a troubling strain of Islamophobia in Norway, but also drastically spiked the nation's homicide rate in a single day. His affiliation with the alt-right Progress Party, known for its xenophobic rhetoric, and the subsequent electoral support it received, revealed deep-seated issues within Norwegian society. Yet, Norway isn't alone in grappling with xenophobia. Sweden and Denmark also face similar challenges, exemplified by the rise of parties like the Sweden Democrats, who gained parliamentary seats with promises to drastically reduce immigration. These instances illustrate that despite their positive attributes such as gender equality and sustainability initiatives, Scandinavian countries are not immune to flaws, and xenophobia remains a significant issue. Part 4. The Turbulent History of Iceland. In 930, the Althing, the world's inaugural parliament, was established in Iceland's narrow canyon, Thingvellir, formed by the shifting tectonic plates of Europe and North America. Essentially, this marked the convergence of American and Scandinavian territories. Icelanders maintain a strong connection to their Viking heritage and hold a deep belief in the interrelation between nature and mythology, with a notable adherence to elfin folklore, embraced by a staggering 54.4% of the population. This attachment to their cultural roots likely persisted due to Iceland's remote landscape, which hindered the reach of 17th-century Christian missionaries seeking to supplant pagan beliefs. The harsh Icelandic environment, characterized by glacier, mountains, waterfalls, and volatile weather, served as a natural deterrent, limiting the population to tens of thousands throughout history. Survivors of such extreme conditions may have turned to mystical beliefs, alongside the traditional resilience epitomized by the Viking spirit. However, Iceland's cultural fabric also bears traces of American influence, a consequence of the island's temporary occupation by U.S. forces during World War II. This encounter with American culture, coupled with the allure of the American dream, wherein individuals can achieve prosperity and fulfill their aspirations, left its mark on Icelandic society. In the early 2000s, Iceland pursued various get-rich-quick schemes, particularly in international finance, borrowing exorbitant sums, exceeding $140 billion between 2003 and 2008. This reckless behavior, epitomized by major banks such as Glitnir, Kaupthing, and Landsbanki resulted in a debt surpassing 10 times Iceland's GDP, culminating in a fragile economic bubble. The bubble inevitably burst with the collapse of Lehman Brothers in 2008, plunging Iceland into a severe economic crisis. Inflation soared to 20%, and unemployment rates skyrocketed from a stable 2% to 10%. Despite this tumultuous period, Iceland's economy is on the path to recovery, underscoring the resilience of this remote island nation, which has weathered both extreme natural conditions and economic upheavals. To listen to more interesting summaries, please subscribe to my channel. Part 5: Norway's distinctive culture. Earlier, we mentioned a fictional scenario where a Scandinavian country receives a humorous acknowledgement for its stunning natural landscapes. This fictitious tribute originated in Douglas Adams' renowned science fiction narrative, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, wherein the character Slartibartfast is honored for his contribution to the design of the Norwegian fjords. Beyond just attracting global admiration for their scenic beauty, these fjords have instilled a profound and enduring connection to nature among the Norwegian populace. Remarkably, many terms in the Norwegian language, including individual surnames, are rooted in geographical features or other facets of the physical environment. For instance, the surname of Ing Slingstad, who heads Norway's oil investment fund, traces back to a meander in the river on his father's farm. Additionally, in recent times, several television programs have gained immense popularity simply by featuring footage captured from ferries or trains traversing the Norwegian landscape. Their widespread appeal even extended to Danish television networks, prompting some Norwegians to humorously attribute it to mountain envy. Despite not being commonly associated with oil wealth, Norway boasts significant reserves, a fact that has catapulted some of its residents to the ranks of the wealthiest individuals globally. This prosperity stems from Norway's substantial oil production since the discovery of its offshore oil reservoirs in the North Sea in 1969. Presently, the country exports approximately 730 million barrels annually. Notably, in 2011, Norway surpassed the United Arab Emirates to become the nation with the largest sovereign wealth, valued at $600 billion. Importantly, due to the state's complete control over the nation's oil fund, this substantial wealth is consistently reinvested for the benefit of the populace, aligning with the principles of income equality observed in Scandinavian countries. Part 6: Denmark is actually the happiest country in the world. Research indicates a correlation between a country's level of equality and the happiness of its citizens. Considering that Danes consistently rate themselves as the happiest globally, one might assume they prioritize adherence to the Gini coefficient, which measures various forms of equality. However, Denmark consistently ranks lowest in many aspects valued by the Gini coefficient. Despite this, the Danish populace remains remarkably content. Surprisingly, Denmark boasts the world's highest tax rates, ranging from 58% to 72%, depending on income, which typically doesn't contribute to happiness. While one might expect stellar public services and benefits to compensate for high taxes, Denmark's welfare state expansion over the past few decades hasn't significantly improved its ranking on the United Nations Human Development Index. This index evaluates factors like income, education, and life expectancy, consistently placing Denmark 16th, behind countries like Ireland and South Korea, which aren't renowned for quality of life. Additionally, Denmark has the lowest life expectancy in Scandinavia, and the highest cancer rates globally. Despite these challenges, Danish happiness might be attributed to their strong social cohesion, which outweighs other social issues. Unlike the reserved Finns, Danes have leveraged their small size and close-knit borders to foster strong social bonds. They're known as one of the most sociable groups globally, with 43% of adults participating in various social clubs or associations. Denmark also introduced the concept of hygge, emphasizing a cozy and egalitarian social atmosphere, where community enjoyment takes precedence. This underscores the notion that happiness isn't solely determined by climate or social infrastructure flaws. Instead, it's about the quality of social connections and shared experiences within a community. Despite potential shortcomings in healthcare or governance, Denmark's emphasis on communal bonds and shared joy contributes significantly to its status as the happiest country worldwide. Conclusion: if you're based in the United States, chances are you've been enticed by the allure of Scandinavian culture at some point. However, despite its captivating natural landscapes, commitment to social equality, and innovative contributions, Scandinavia isn't flawless. While its Viking heritage fosters national pride, and the 5 Scandinavian nations share many similarities, this unity can sometimes result in a somewhat uniform population that harbors skepticism towards outsiders and exhibits xenophobia. Additionally, Scandinavian society tends to undervalue individuality and extroverted personalities. Nevertheless, every place has its imperfections, and acknowledging them shouldn't diminish our admiration for Scandinavian countries. Instead, we should celebrate their distinct cultural identity, which has fostered happiness among their residents and propelled them to become some of the most progressive and successful nations globally. Thank you for watching this episode. Please don't forget to subscribe. Your comments, likes and shares are highly appreciated. See you soon in our next episode.